Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for clicking on this video. As you can see from the title of this video, this is going to be a review of the new swimsuit line Toluca, owned by Taylor Chamberlain, her sister Chloe Chamberlain, Whitney Simmons, and Taylor Chamberlain's husband Steve Dilk. So their whole catchphrase is by women for women, obviously with the addition of Steve, but I love the idea of a business. And I also really like that they're spelling woman with an X instead of E, which is a way to signify more inclusiveness, not just cis woman. I really appreciate that they're also very inclusive as to not only like skin color diversity but also size diversity. And something that I also found kind of interesting, so Taylor is quite petite, she's a very thin woman, and then Whitney I would say is still thin, but she does have like wider hips, so she has more of like a curvier thin body type. And then Chloe is definitely a very curvy woman, she has very voluptuous boobs, which I always just admire because I don't have that. And then she definitely has hips, and so it's kind of like even within the CEO team they do have that diversity of body shapes, which I appreciate. I wish they had more of a diversity of races on their team. But anyway, so let's get to the actual swimsuit try on. I'm gonna preface this, like I'm not gonna like be twirling around and dancing in the bathing suits because I don't want to like put my full body that much on YouTube, but I did want to give you at least some idea of what these swimsuits look like on a more, I want to say normal person, but like keep in mind all the people that they're posting on their pages are either fitness influencers or models, and I'm not either of those, so I just want to show on a more like, I don't know what word to use, but you know what I mean. The first thing I got was their Angelina Panthera bikini top, and I got this in a size medium. This is what it looks like. Ooh, that's a much better shot. I think this swimsuit is very, very pretty. As you can see, kind of has that outline of the cupping. I think this swimsuit, oh, and here's the pattern. I like the pattern. I like the black like leopard print. I think that's very flattering. Black in general is just a flattering color, but to have this kind of something makes it special. I think this cut of bathing suit would work much better on women with bigger boobs. As I've now said like 3 times already in this video, I do not have that. I don't have super small boobs. I don't wear bras, so if I had to guess, I'm probably like a bigger B or like a very small C, like maybe depending if my period's about to come. I'm not like super small, but I'm also not big, and I just didn't think this shape was as flattering on me. It is comfortable. Wow, excuse me. This bathing suit top was $70, which I think is a lot. Overall, this is more luxury swimsuit brand, so everything is quite expensive. I do like the gold detail of the bathing suit. I think that's really pretty, and it feels good. One thing I'll say is that for how expensive it is, I expect these pieces to be like 100% perfect, and I have found some flaws, which is like, it's not like it's anything major, like it would still be fine, but at the same time, if I'm paying $70 for just a top, I do expect it to be pretty perfect. I know I showed a clip of kind of how this middle section doesn't lay flat on me because I can't tell if this is showing. Yeah, so you see how like it overlaps kind of. I don't know if that's a manufacturing error, if that's just something with my body, I'm not sure. And then also you can see a little bit of loose thread. Again, this is nothing major, it's not a big deal, but for that price point, I do think that shouldn't be a thing. The texture of the actual bathing suit is like a normal bathing suit texture. Then this little pattern is like more velvet, and then these ruffles are, I don't know what kind of texture it is, but a different texture as well, which I think is fun. The little ruffles are very cute as well. And I can tell by how the back of this suit is, like it's just a very thick band, that this is definitely made for women with bigger breasts. I do also like this tie in the middle. It allows you to like tie the cups closer together, depending on how, 1, your boobs sit, and 2, how close you want your boobs to come together. So for example, my boobs like sit, these are my boobs. My boobs sit further apart, like in the middle. I don't really have cleavage unless I'm wearing something very tight. So for this, if I want to give myself cleavage, I can just pull this ribbon thing, the tie, tighter so my boobs come together like that and give me like faux cleavage, or I can just leave it further apart and just have my boobs be far apart like the way they are, and I don't mind that much. I'm not that concerned with farther apart or together. I do think it's fun to have cleavage since I don't normally have it. The next thing that I got in that same Panthera, I'm pretty sure, yeah, Panthera design is their Luna midi bottom. So this, oh, it's like this actually. So this is their bottom that has like the middle, hence midi coverage. They have 4 different coverage type of bottoms, and I guess yeah, it makes more sense to start with the fullest coverage one. So let's backtrack a little bit. So I got this maxi in the color Onyx, which is a rib for this one. And I got this in a size medium, and this is $65. This is their fullest coverage bottom. And as you can see, I think you can tell like how full coverage it is. It has this little scrunch, which I think makes it a little bit more flattering, even though it is quite full coverage. And this sits very, very high in your waist, which I do appreciate. I personally hold most of my fat from like my belly button down. So something that sits high on my waist is always more flattering for my body type. So I did appreciate how high these sit. I don't think I'm in love though, because it does like, even with the scrunch, for me, it still gives me a little bit of like granny panties vibes. I wonder if it's because I did get the Onyx, which is, other than the rib, just a plain black color. I wonder if the maxi and like one of the pattern prints would look less granny panty-ish. I'm not sure, but I do think it's comfortable. It's fine other than the scrunch. I don't think it's anything special. So now we're gonna jump patterns, because I do want to go in order of like fullest coverage to least coverage. So next was the Cora Midi Plus bottoms in the Reptilia pattern, which is beautiful. I think this pattern is absolutely beautiful. I thought it was beautiful when I saw it online, and getting it, it's gorgeous. The way they've done this neutral animal print, beautiful, 100%. Definitely my favorite pattern, definitely my favorite suit. I like the Midi Plus coverage because, as I was saying with the maxi, it's just a little bit too much granny panty-ish to me, but I liked that it was covering like my lower belly, which is a fattier area for me. This one comes high, but not as high as the Midi, as the maxi, sorry. So you can see with the maxi, how far out it comes, like it's really covering your lower hip and your vagina. With the Midi Plus, it has a little bit more of the high cut, so you're showing a bit more of your hips. Let's see if I can compare. So this is the difference. Even though I got the maxi in a medium, because it was so full coverage, I was like, all right, I don't need to get a large, even though I do have a fairly big butt. And then I got the Midi Plus in a large. So even though this is, the Midi Plus is a large, you can still see how further out the maxi is going just on the sides. And then the butt, you can see again, the maxi just has more of that coverage. So you're gonna get a little bit more of your cheeks coming out on the side, which I think is just more flattering, but at the same time, it's like, it's not full butt out. The next bottom that I got is again in that Panthera pattern, but this is just the Midi. So instead of the Midi, am I holding it wrong? There we go. The Midi has a little bit less coverage than the Midi Plus. Again, it's gonna end up sitting a little bit lower. So this one sits pretty much right under my belly button, which is not as flattering for my body type. So I wasn't as big of a fan. I even kept trying to like pull it up, because naturally I even wear just, I'm not gonna get up and show you, but even like my normal pants, I just instinctively pull over my belly button, because I know like not only is it more flattering for me, it's just more comfortable. So I instinctively kept trying to pull this up, and it's not meant to sit there, so it just looks a little bit weird. So you can see again, the cut is coming more and more in, so you're still getting that coverage on your actual vagina, so your vagina is not like slipping out, but it's coming more and more high cut. So you're gonna see more of your hips, and then on the butt area, you're gonna see a little bit more of your cheeks. Nothing extreme, but definitely less so than the Midi Plus. And I'll compare these two just like I did for the maxi and the Midi Plus. So this is the back. Oh, and I got both of these in the large. So this is the back, so you can see that the Midi Plus is coming out a bit further on the hip area. For the front, again, actually, they're sitting pretty equal on the front, I will say. The Midi Plus is coming a little bit higher, but as far as front coverage, exactly the same. Yeah, you can't really tell. Maybe, yeah, you can tell more better from the side than from the back. The front coverage is exactly the same. Should I be saying front? I'm confused. Okay, I've gotten my eggs in a row. Is that the saying? The front coverage is what is going down for the Midi versus Midi Plus. The Midi front coverage, there's less coverage in the front, you're coming up higher in the hips, and you're getting more of that hip showing. Versus the Midi Plus, less hip, more coverage in general, but the backs are pretty similar. The only other difference I'm seeing is the Midi Plus is coming higher. So if you're deciding between the Midi Plus and the Midi, two things I would consider is, do you have shorter legs that you want to make look longer? Do you have more fat in your lower tummy like me that you want to maybe conceal, that would be the two biggest things I would think about, because if you have shorter legs, having something that comes higher cut is going to make your legs look longer. And then again, if you're like me and you have more fat in your lower tummy that you maybe just want to conceal, it's not the biggest deal in the world. It's okay to have fat there, especially as a woman. Like, it's very, very common. I think most women have more fat in their lower tummy. You just might want to get a suit that comes a little higher, which the Midi Plus is going to do that for you. And I don't remember if I said, but both of those were $65. Across the board, all of their bottoms are $65 and then all of their tops are $70. The only bottom that I did not get is, I want to say it's called the mini, and that's the one that's basically a thong, and then it's also like pretty low rise, which I knew I wouldn't like, so I just didn't even get it. If you want a thong bathing suit, get that one, because that's the only one that's like fully gonna show your butt cheeks. So if that's what you want, get it. The next actual top that I got, which is so beautiful. When I put this one on and the Midi Plus bottoms in the Reptilia, I was like, oof, oof, oof. This is so beautiful and much more flattering for smaller chested girls. I'd say if your boobs are my size or smaller, go with this shape. I mean, if they're the same size as mine, you could also get the other one I showed. Obviously all up to you. But yeah, I would recommend this one for smaller chested gals. I think it is so flattering when you have smaller boobs. One, because they've made it so you can, this is not helpful upside down, they've made it so you can make this little triangle more squished together. So you see a little small triangle. So if you have like, if your boob takes up less area on your chest, make the triangle smaller, and that's actually gonna always make your boobs look bigger. I prefer not to have like a bunch of side boob, and my boob does like carry over. Like, this is all my boob. This is so weird. But yeah, I prefer to not have like a bunch of side boobs, so I did leave it all out, and I still got a little side boob, which I think when you have smaller boobs, it looks nicer. I feel like I've said boobs 500 times in this video. And then I think the ruffling on the bottom versus on the Panthera, the rufflings on the top, the on the bottom is much more flattering for smaller chests, because it again is giving your, it's making your boobs look bigger, because it's giving it extra fabric on the bottom, versus the top is like hiding any cleavage you might have, if that makes sense. And then I can tell again that this one was more so built for women with smaller chests, because unlike the Panthera, which has like the one thick band, this has two thinner bands. I'm not a huge fan of the two thinner bands, because I do have like back rolls, and I feel like it just kind of gets stuck in my back rolls, so I don't love that. But that's just like a comfort thing. I don't think it necessarily looks bad. These straps are so much thinner than the Panthera straps. And obviously if you have bigger boobs, you need thicker straps to hold them up, because you want to be comfortable and want to be able to like run around the beach and the pool and have fun. The final thing that I got is the Artemis one suit. One suit still is sounding weird to me, I don't know why. And I got this in the Reptilia, pattern, and I got this in a size medium. Fits very well. This is very flattering. This is another one that I put on and I was like, wow, beautiful. And even though these cuts come up high, and as I said, I hold a lot of my body fat in my lower tummy, I still found this quite flattering, because even though you could like see my lower tummy fat, it was displayed in like a sexy way. I don't know how to, yeah, that's the best way I can put it. That high cut, it kind of is showing like your like outer thighs and like outlining that. So it's like, it's really giving you that hourglass shape, and that's the illusion I think they're trying to create. This little middle part, this belt, is also adding to that hourglass shape, because if you get your correct size, even though you can't tighten this is going to be tighter on your upper waist. This was $115, which I understand is very, very expensive for a swimsuit, and I think is very, very expensive for a swimsuit. I could also see this being possible to wear like with some jeans and some like nice boots, and you can make like a night out. Obviously none of us are going out right now, but like this could be worn as just a bodysuit as well, so like you're getting more of your money's worth. This one also has the most thick fabric, which I think is what's adding to the flatteringness of it, because like that's that thickness keeping you in. And then it also has this kind of, I don't know what to call it, but like a little bit of a built-in bra. See if that'll focus. Yeah, there you go. And then it has these cuffs, but I think they are removable. Let's see. Yeah, there's a little hole, so you could remove those. I probably would remove them. I just don't like wearing cuffs on things. I think it's uncomfortable. And then you are getting a little bit of booty out showing. One suit sounds so weird. Is that not the right swimsuit? One suit, bikini, one piece. Wow, that's why it sounds so weird. Okay. One piece. embarrassing. And any of these clips, you can see my underwear peeping out. I was wearing underwear during all these because obviously I didn't know which ones I was gonna keep and return, and I wanna keep it sanitary. But that is everything. I hope that this video doesn't end up being too long, and I hope that it ends up being very helpful for those of you that are thinking about getting toluca. I believe that they didn't sell out and that they still have all of these pieces available. If I had to say whether or not this brand is worth it, I would say for some pieces, yes, for others not. It might also be a luck of the draw because, as I said, on the Angelina top, I did see a few loose threads, which is disappointing when you spend that much on something. But on some other pieces, I did not see a single flaw. So I don't know if that's just a manufacturing thing. I would definitely say the one piece is worth it. If you're thinking of getting anything, get the one piece. And I would definitely say the Reptilia pattern is worth it. If you're thinking of getting any of the patterns, I would go towards the Reptilia. That is everything for today. I hope this review was helpful. I hope you got something out of it, and I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me. Bye.